Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're jumping into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what I might expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It is a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check that out today. And of course guys, in the description down below you're going to find links to our new Cheeky podcast, a fantastic way to stay up to date with the latest in the crypto space. It's free, it's easy listening on your daily commute to the office, so why not go ahead and check that out as well. And of course in the description down below you'll find links to our Patreon services. In Patreon, we offer a lot more for our members down in Discord, everything from project reviews through to buying and selling alerts to what we're staking, when we're unstaking, trading, and even 2 AMAs twice weekly. So why not check that out if that's your bag. Okay, let's waste no more time though. Let's jump right down into this, right? Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. Now, as we were talking about yesterday, we were looking for that upward directional move, specifically to try to finish off what might be a 335 correction. Now, I'm looking at this data right now. We've got 2 options. We could see the 335 correction upwards, which should basically finish a wave 2 within wave 3. Alternatively, we have a 535 structure, but that's only valid if we go up higher than $20,918, okay? So to kind of show you what these 2 things look like. Both are indicating a slight move higher, okay? But afterwards, both indicating massive corrective move to the downside, okay? So the directions are the same. The only difference is how we classify this move and whether or not we are in wave 2 of wave 3 or wave 2 of wave 5, okay? So they're different positions within the degrees of wave counting, okay? And if that doesn't make sense, then join us in Discord. I've got some materials to help you understand Elliott Wave in a lot more detail, and obviously that's free there, ready for you to kind of just dive right into, right? So I'm going to first of all go through these different patterns, right? So to start with, I'm going to review a 3. Actually, that's a bit too big. Then 335, okay, which is a corrective structure, which basically is telling me that we're inside this. It's actually all of this little area just here, okay, and basically it's the second wave of the third wave down, of which is on a 5th wave down, okay. So that's the kind of first structure to kind of look at. It's all this kind of section just here, and it's a 335 in my opinion. The alternative to that, and the one I'll look at after, will be a 535, which is this wave 2 area here not being complete, and this wave 2 is of a 5th wave dropping down lower into the final lows. Okay, and that's basically all of this just here. Okay, so let's start with our 335. So our 335 actually is down here, right? We have a 3-wave move up, a 3-wave move down, and then this potential 5-wave move going up. Okay, so if we take this high, this low here, move this over to this low, you can see here that we're just ever so slightly lower than that 1.618, but I do think that's likely to get hit. So we're going to come up here, then we're going to have some kind of 4th wave move down, okay, which cannot cross higher than this high point. So I'll just grab that, unless of course it's an ending. I wouldn't actually expect an ending diagonal, so it shouldn't drop down lower than $19,647, okay. But essentially it will look something like this, where we go wave 1, wave 2, this being some kind of wave 3 here, some kind of wave 4 pullback, and then a final 5th wave coming up. Now under this scenario, this 5th wave should not go higher than $20,918. It should stay below this threshold. If it goes higher than this, then it is not, this pattern is not a 335 at all, and instead I would say it's a zigzag pattern, okay? So I'm going to leave those 5 waves there because that's kind of what I'm roughly expecting to happen. Regardless, that will be the same, okay? The only difference is whether or not that 5th wave is higher than this dash line at the top here at $20,918, okay? That's the only difference. So over this side, we have a 5-wave move coming up, which goes from our low point of 18,626 to 20,918. Okay, now this move is again 1, 2, right here, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so it's a 5-wave move. And then we'll have to address this as a 3-wave structural move to the bottom. So again, if I actually now tidy this up at here a little bit, okay, it would basically be looking like this, where we drop down here with 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have a 3-wave move. This basically makes it a 5, 3, 5 structure. Okay, so these are the 2 patterns that are most probable right now. Okay, and again, you can look at this in multiple different ways. There's multiple different patterns out there in the world, even outside of Elliott wave theory. So, for example, another one that might start getting spoken about in a few kind of moments, if not already, is the cup and handle. Now, the cup and handle here, you'd have this as your cup, okay, and then you'll pull back down, and then you surge back up again, okay. So what I'm talking about here is effectively that 5-wave move, okay, and then that surge up. All right, so our impulsive structure, okay, our 5-wave structure is basically the cup, the right-hand side of the cup, the handle, and then the part after the handle, okay? Now, normally, this would be a surge to a 1.618 move. Now, I don't think it's going to move as high as that. And the cup and handle patterns, they don't actually tend to... they don't actually tend to play out all that well. Typically, like there's a really small chance. I think it's about like 60-something, 65% that a cup and handle actually plays out. But it's there, so we can acknowledge that, right? But essentially, I look at it as an Elliott wave theory. We'll still push up higher. It'll probably form this little handle area, but it won't go as high as 21,600 in my opinion. It's possible though, so we can't ignore it, but it is definitely possible. But it's not likely. I look at it from an Elliott wave theory perspective, and we can track all of those. The same thing with head and shoulder patterns as well. If I just come up here for a sec, if we have our, let's say, 3-wave moves here, okay, and we follow that up with a 3-wave move over here, right, this is a head and shoulder pattern. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab hold of my head and shoulder pattern here. Not that this should be an education on Elliott wave theory or anything like that, but essentially you end up with your, if I can actually get that to go, there we go. Not drawing this the neatest way, but there's your head and shoulder pattern, and it's exactly this. It's a 3-wave move up and a 3-wave move down, and basically just trading kind of sideways here. And then typically what we might find is that your move down becomes something like this. We bounce up with wave this, and then you break it, right? And it looks like you're moving down, but actually it's just a 5-wave drop coming down out of this side here. So you can look at it as your head and shoulder pattern, but actually it's a 3-wave move followed by a 5-wave move, right? So all these other kind of patterns, they all nest into Elliott wave theory is kind of my point here, including the cup and handle, the head and shoulder, etc. So it's important that we understand, what Elliott wave theory is doing, because Elliott wave theory is tracking the psychology of people. It is not, just picking out patterns of data on the chart, right? It's not saying, oh, this is a cup and handle, this is an inverse head and shoulders, or anything like that. It's tracking people, and that's why you can see those other patterns inside Elliott wave theory structures, okay? Because again, those patterns are also how people are reacting to the space, okay? None of this is random by any stretch of the imagination. So when we start thinking about the possible moves here, we've kind of got to really focus in on $20,918. That's going to be the main takeaway here as to whether or not we are in a 5-3-5 structure and we push up slightly higher than expected, meaning that we still haven't started our 3rd wave move down, or we're in a 3-3-5 structure and we're actually, about to drop down into wave 3 of wave 3, which basically is going to take us down towards these low areas down here, where we're currently estimating this to kind of somewhere be between 15,400 and 16,700. And as you can kind of see, if I bring this back up, you can see we've got our bounce here, we have a 4th wave move, and then of course we're moving down towards 15,100 to 15,700. So, and there's quite a bit of a journey to be had here to the downside, and we cannot ignore that. Now, when I throw those Bollinger Bands on, I spoke about this briefly yesterday, was specifically around these contractions that were happening, and Bollinger Bands are not going to give us the direction of the move, and they're only going to tell you that when you have a contraction like this, and you start to see an expansion, you're going to start to see an explosive move in a direction, right? It doesn't necessarily tell us which direction. I thought more probably that we were going to move down yesterday, but we continued the run up. It was actually quite volatile. We saw lots of moments of movements up, then down, then up, and so forth. But for the most part, we expanded to the upside. And our bottom band hasn't really broken out like it had done previously. It's actually started to pull back down and pull back up alongside it. So again, testing this lower band is going to be interesting because I think this is where our fourth wave is going to come in at a later stage. So we'll pull back down a little bit, probably test our lower band somewhere around here, but not going down lower than wave one at 19,647, and then just move up to finish the move altogether, and then probably see a contraction at the top with an expansion to the downside. So even from a Bollinger Band point of view, we're kind of doing as expected there. Looks like we are also seeing a little bit of an increase in volume here, but it has decreased recently as we started to push back up. So again, this is not based on high volume movements or anything like that. So do be cautious here. Anything moving in an upward direction at the moment is counter to the trend. The trend is very much to the downside. Okay, let's go ahead and grab hold of our stochastic RSIs. Okay, so the momentum indicator. Here we can see that we are just having this little mini correction right now. We're looking to come down to the oversold area, meaning that we've got a little bit more room to the upside. This could be the fourth wave right here. And it'll be interesting to kind of see if we can just pull this down ever so slightly lower, and then obviously start to finish that fifth wave up there. Be interesting. Basically oversold, we're looking to come back to the overbought area before finishing this final fifth wave move. On the 4-hourly chart, we're already in this overbought area, so again indicating that third wave drop is coming. The 8-hour chart right up here is also up in the overbought area, so again indicating that we are likely to see this downward price action very, very soon. And the daily chart, of course, right up here, heading back to the overbought area after coming down a little bit. So essentially, you know, we are going to start to see a pretty big drop here with Bitcoin once this kind of comes back up a little bit. So I'm not expecting this to go back up into the oversold area. I'm expecting it more to be kind of something maybe like this, where we start to see a little bit of a descent, we move up, and then we just crash right down into this oversold area. So if we review that, what do we have? Well, we had this little moment just here, for example. We had all this red, we had the green candle, and then we start to really pull back down. So essentially, you know, we are looking for some kind of volatility here on the daily. So there's nothing optimistic about the momentum behind the price. The volumes aren't there. The structures themselves are not looking confident. Even like if we were to look at it from a cup and handle perspective, even that has a limited upside. And plus that pattern particularly fails quite a bit. I would rely on Elliott wave theory, specifically within this 5-wave structure, looking to complete that, preferably below 20,918, but we can't guarantee that. We have those two patterns, both meaning it was a slight push higher, and then of course we dropped back down where our lows are very, very, very significant. Estimated so far at about 16,100, but you know, it's anyone's guess really as to how low that's likely to go. It should be a 5-wave drop. It should be at least 1.618, but we need to know where this is likely to stop first so we can predict out where that movement to the downside is likely to end. Guys, I'm going to call this video right there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.